pleasure to present a gentleman whose feats of mental magic have mystified audiences all over the world. The great Romark.
My name is Romark, and I'm a hypnotist. But I'm not going to be hypnotizing anyone tonight. We're going to do an experiment, or an experiment or two, in autosuggestion. And the difference between autosuggestion and hypnotism is that you don't go to sleep. At least I hope you don't. Now, if I, of course, ask anyone in the audience to help me, people will think that I have planted someone in the audience to help me, so I don't do things that way. I'm going to take a ping pong ball, and I'm going to throw the ping pong ball into the audience, and whichever man catches this ping pong ball, that's the one we'll use for this experiment. So there goes the ping pong ball. Oh, I'm glad you caught it, because you look a real sucker. I'm in subject. Would you mind standing up? Thank you very much. Just stay where you are, because I want to ask you a question. Now, if I asked you to shout out any number you liked in between 1 and 100, would you have a free choice?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't. You see, the very fact that I said between 1 and 100 has put you off the number 1. You would never give me a reply with a 1 in it. But now that I've told you this, you're not quite sure whether I want a 1 or I don't want a 1. Now, if I say 58, you become more confused. If I say 88, you become more confused. And in your particular case, the most confusing number of the lot is 23. So now you're completely confused. He is. He's completely confused. He was confused before the show started, but now he's completely confused. Now, we're going to find out if you are confused. Would you please shout out at the top of your voice so everyone can hear any number you like in between 1 and 100?
21.
21 is a lovely number. I'll tell you why. Before I came on the stage, I put this envelope in my pocket. And inside this envelope, there's a piece of card, and on that piece of card, there's a number. Now, I'd like you to be the first person to see what that number is. Would you all applaud, please? And would you just come up these stairs? How are you doing? Nice to meet you. Now, if you just come over here, we'll open this envelope up, we'll take out the card that's inside, and we'll give you the card to hold. But I don't want you to look at it yet, because there's a couple of questions I must ask you. First of all, have you and I ever met before?
No, sir.
Have you ever seen me before?
No.
How do you know it's me? You see, you're confused. I said you were confused. Now, when you were sitting over there and I asked you a number, what was that number you said?
21.
21. Sure it was 21?
Yes.
And you said 21. Did that number come out of your brain or did it come out of my brain?
No, I'm not sure.
You're not sure? You don't feel hypnotized?
No.
Well, would you turn the card over and read to the audience exactly what it says on that card?
Romark predicts that the number chosen will be 21. Please applaud.
Please applaud. That's the information. You know, you are giving everybody in the audience the idea that you're going back to your seat. You have no chance. You come and stand over here. You see, ladies and gentlemen, whenever I do a show, I have a problem. And the problem is that, unfortunately, in every audience, there are always people with suspicious minds. And these people think that the only way I can do anything is if I've got people in the audience working for me. There'll be people who think this gentleman's working for me because he said 21 and I had 21 written on the card. Now, the way that I prove that this is not the case is I don't choose anyone to come on the stage. You will choose the first person to come up. Whoever you choose will choose the next one, and they'll choose the next one. But the marvelous thing is that whoever comes on this stage is going to get a beautiful present. You are going to get a beautiful present. Aren't you lucky? Of course you're lucky. Now, you come here and look into this vast array of people and choose for me a strange lady.
Strange lady.
Yes. I know they all look pretty strange, but I mean a strange lady that you've never...
Strange to me.
Yes, you've never met before. A complete stranger.
All right. This lady right here.
That lady there, thank you very much. You go back to your seat now. You'll get your lovely present later on. And strange lady, would you please come on the stage? Now, you don't know it yet, but your thoughts are going to be on television. What's your name?
Jane.
Jane. Now, Jane, are you married?
Jane.
Jean. Jean. Are you married, Jean?
Yes.
You are married. Is that your husband with you?
No, I left him at home.
Oh. Well. First boo-boo tonight.
Yes.
What I want you to do, Jean, is I want you to think of an ideal man. Now, by an ideal man, I don't mean your husband, or obviously he'd be here. I don't mean the gentleman you're with. I mean someone that is perfect. But when you think about this ideal man, I don't want you to say one word, because I'm going to type your thoughts on that typewriter. So you start thinking, and the first thing I want you to think is, what would be a nice name for your ideal man? That's a very nice name. Lovely. How old would you like your ideal man to be? Oh, I think a little bit older than that. I mean, you don't want to get tired out, do you? No, that's a more reasonable age. Fine. What would you like him to do for a living? Mm-hmm. And what part of the world would you like him to be born in? Yes. How many children would you like to have between you? That'll keep you busy. And how would you like him to be dressed? Gene, this is ridiculous. This is a family show. Put some clothes on him at once. That's better. Right. Lovely. Now, I'm going to fold this piece of paper up very small. The reason that I do this is because the suspicious people seem to think that there are ways of typing through a sealed envelope. I haven't as yet learned of any such ways, and we're just going to stick this envelope, and I'm going to ask you to hold on to it. Don't part with it, just hold on to that envelope. Now, this is where it becomes exciting. I want you to look into the audience and pick out the ideal man, somebody that looks like the person you've been thinking of, but not someone you know, a complete stranger. Now, you pick him out. Quick as you can. No, you do it from here. You just point.
Oh.
Quick as you can.
That gentleman right there.
In the third row. Ideal man, would you come on the stage, please? Give him a big round of applause. How do you do? It's nice to meet you. You do realize that Jean is in love with you. Would you like to give her a kiss just to sort of make things happy to start with? That's the idea. Oh, isn't this sweet? Now, I know that you're not going to believe this, but that envelope contains information about you. You don't think that's possible, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, it does. Because first of all, let me tell you what I typed on the piece of paper. I just typed a description of you. And I typed in the description that you were wearing an open neck shirt with temple figures on it. Now that is temple figures, isn't it?
I think it is.
That is exactly what I typed on that piece of paper. I also said the rest of the clothes you're wearing, which are in the most disgusting taste I've ever seen in my life. But everything about you is in that envelope. Now, would you mind telling the ladies and gentlemen your first name?
Robert, Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I typed on the piece of paper. Bob. How old are you, Bob?
I, 34.
34. You don't have to worry about it because you don't look 34.
Thank you.
You look well over 40. But the age that I typed on the piece of paper was, in fact, 34. And which part of the world do you come from originally?
I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota, originally.
Minneapolis is exactly what I have on that piece of paper. And what do you do for a living?
I'm in the cosmetic world.
You're in the cosmetic world, which is exactly what I put on the piece of paper. This is quite astonishing. And how many children do you have?
I have none.
Now, look, you're among friends. I'd like you to come clean. I mean, just tell the audience, how many children do you really have?
I'm coming clean, I hope.
I typed on that piece of paper that you have 7 children. Now, just look at it this way, Bob. If I got your name right and your age right and where you were born right and what you do for a living right, who do you think these people believe? You or me? Ladies and gentlemen, this is quite extraordinary because I promise you I have never met Bob before. But every single bit of information I typed on the piece of paper which is in that envelope. Now, I realize already that you are nice, trusting people, and you don't want to look inside the envelope. So seeing I got everything right, please could I have the applause now? Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, that's fine. Aren't they nice people, though?
Very nice.
They are nice people. They don't want to look in the envelope, they trust me. Do you trust me?
Not
You don't trust me? You want to look in that envelope?
I certainly do.
All right, you will in a moment, but may I ask you one other question?
Yes.
Can you remember your grandfather who is dead?
Yes.
Yes, but ladies and gentlemen, you've just seen a miracle. You didn't even realize it. I have never met Bob before in my life. How could I know that he had a dead grandfather? You see how clever I am? I know all these things, Bob. I know all about you. I know about the scar on your knee. That worries you. Let's get back to the subject of your grandfather. Here I have a very sad piece of paper because that is a picture of your grandfather's gravestone. Would you take it, please? Don't laugh. It is his gravestone. Show a bit of respect. Now, can you remember your grandfather's first name?
Yes.
Would you please print your grandfather's first name in the place in the gravestone? Do it over there so I can't possibly see what you're doing. That's very important. Because now I'm going to produce a very interesting piece of apparatus which is called a dead grandfather bone. These are very, very hard to get, believe me. And I'm going to put it down there. And I see you folded that up so I can't read. Keep it folded, but just come forward, please. Could I have Grandpa? Now, do you agree? You've written your grandfather's name on this piece of paper, which is thick paper. You have folded it 4 times. It is impossible for me to see your grandfather's name. You agree? You agree. I'm glad you agree. Now, I'm going to destroy your grandfather. You will notice, don't worry, it doesn't hurt. I mean, it has been gone a long time, but you're standing close, you're watching, and that's important because you are the nearest person to me. So would you please tell the audience in absolute honesty, at any time when I tore up that paper, did my hands leave my body? No. Right. So we put the paper in there. Now, this is dead grandfather fluid, which is magical stuff, and we put that on top of Grandpa. And then I give you some matches, and I want you, please, to set fire to your grandfather. Don't worry, it doesn't matter. Try lighting the paper, Bob. It works better. That's right. Now, this is magic. This is dead grandfather powder. Do you believe in magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, you will in a minute. Because if you put this powder on the flames of your grandfather and it burns blue, then you will know that your grandfather is peacefully up above. If, on the other hand, it burns bright red, then you will be knowing that you're going to meet your grandfather again very shortly. So would you take one of those and just pop it on the flames of Grandpa? This is all very occult and mysterious. And I look in here, and I look and I look and I look over the flames, and... Now, that is a bit unfortunate. Obviously, it runs in your family. But you know, from that flame, to me, there came a name. And the name that came out of that flame was the name Ben. B-E-N. Would you mind telling the ladies and gentlemen, what is your grandfather's name?
Ben?
Ben. Why did you call me? Could I have the envelope, please? You will remember that this envelope was your grandfather's name, Matt. This envelope was sealed with the information put into it before you were even chosen to come onto this stage. There is the envelope. Would you please open it up? Pull the paper knife. Fascinating, isn't it? Take the piece of paper out. I don't want to handle it at all. Open it up. And would you please read out loud to the audience exactly what it says? Start at the beginning. Come on. Read everything.
Bob?
No, the whole lot.
My first name is Bob.
That's correct.
I was born in Minneapolis.
Correct.
Spelling is wrong.
Sorry.
My age...
We're going to get it, Dickie. Go on, keep going.
My age is 34.
That's
A
correct.
couple months away.
Yeah,
My occupation is cosmetics.
correct.
I have 7 children.
He admitted it. Did you hear that? He admitted it. We got him.
I am wearing an open neck shirt, temple spots.
Well, that's you, all right. Thank you very much indeed, Bob. Thank you. And thank you, Gene, for coming.